Hello and welcome to Wannabe Entrepreneur. Today I have João again here, my Portuguese friend, the first entrepreneur I ever met. If you want to hear more about João, you can go to the first part of the interview where he speaks about his first business, Herpack. Hey João, welcome back.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
I think there's no need for you to introduce yourself again. If you are listening to this, just go back to the first interview and listen to his introduction. Today, I want to speak about, I guess, your second business, Donny Dough. So, can you again pitch Donny Dough quickly? What is Donny Dough?
Yeah, so it all happened when I just finished my university, and a
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine sent me a message, and she wanted to start a business, and she was checking my availability to start a business with her. And we brainstormed a few ideas. We had some interesting ideas, and one of the ideas was to start the first brand of cookie dough in Portugal. So cookie dough is like raw cookie batter that it's like cookie that you eat by the spoonful. It's raw cookie, and that is a very trending product in the United States and some places in Europe.
Just out of curiosity, what other ideas did you have?
And there were a lot of ideas. We thought about a food truck with traditional Portuguese food. That was one of them. A business for selling like microgreens online. A business for selling trees online. I don't know. I don't remember all the ideas, but we had a few interesting ideas that would also relate with our course, landscape architecture.
Right.
Oh, by the way, yeah, actually, cookie dough was an idea from my sister. Yeah, and we just thought it was a nice one.
And how long was this after finishing Herpack?
Oh, it was a few years. I don't know. I'll have to do the math,
Right.
but maybe 4 years or something like that.
So you got everything you learned from Herpack plus what you learned from your graphic design company,
Uh
and
huh.
then with this experience now you made a new business together with a partner, right?
Yeah.
And how do you just work with anyone? Like, I guess not, right? So what was in her that you actually decided to, okay, I wanted to go into business with her? Because it's always hard, right, to have a co-founder.
Yeah. Um, I had this friend in much consideration because she was always very loyal and methodical and
Right.
organized and also creative. And um, I just thought it would be a very reliable person to start a business with.
Okay. And she came with the idea. You brainstorm a bunch of ideas, some of
Hmm.
them related to food, some of them related to, again, plants.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then your sister actually gives the idea of cookie dough.
Hmm.
And why did she come up with this idea?
I don't know. I think she saw it on Instagram or something like that.
And did you then started to analyze the trend again, like you did with Herpack? Did you see if people were, like, speaking about it, or
Yeah, don't know. In this case, it was a little bit different. It wasn't like we noticed any trend. It was just that we just thought that there was something missing in the market. Maybe people would, the same way that we wanted to try cookie dough when my sister presented us cookie dough and we couldn't find cookie dough anywhere. We just thought maybe there's a community in Portugal that would enjoy this product and can find it. It was, in a sense, we just noticed an opportunity to fill up
right?
the gap.
But how sure was it that there was a need for it or a desire for it? Not
Not
at
at
all.
all.
And what did you do next then?
Yeah. Um, the thing is, many people when they start their businesses, then they do all their studies and surveys, and they try to understand if that their product is going to be successful. But the truth is, it's always a surprise. Maybe you can control some variables, but in the end, you just gotta try it. And even Jeff Bezos, I think there's a story that when he was pitching Amazon to new investors, he was very clear about that he knew that the chances of Amazon becoming successful was just 30% or something like
Right.
that. So even such a big project that would require so much investment was so uncertain.
Yeah.
So you just gotta go for it.
Right. And you saw also an opportunity to build another brand, right? And that's what motivates you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I just thought it would be a really fun project because cookie dough is such a playful product.
Right.
It's like a product for the younger generations.
Yeah.
Um, it's. I think it was a nice opportunity to build a really interesting brand, a really interesting community.
So, okay, so what was the next steps? You decided to go for it, right? And what
Yeah.
next?
So the first thing was total confusion because building a food business in Portugal requires a lot of um, requires you to follow a lot of regulations,
Right.
right? And that was total confusion because we didn't know anything about it. We had to research a lot, and also to come up with a strategy to launch the product. So our first strategy was to invest in a food truck and try to park the food truck next to a place where would be younger people and
Mm-hmm.
cosmopolitan people and people from around the world, because the chances
Right.
of they knowing cookie dough was higher if it was if the food truck was among foreigners and things like that.
Right. Yeah, because this is the new product. No one in Portugal knows about what is cookie dough, right?
Yeah, so our first thought was we are going to make a food truck and park the food truck in an area that would have a lot of tourists and or close to a school or something like that. And that was our first thought. And
And
we
why a food truck and not a store in that same location?
yeah, because we just thought it would be less risky. A food truck, it would require less investment. It would
Right.
be a nice way to test the
You could move
product.
it.
Yeah, we could move it around. We wouldn't need so much investment. So it would be a nice way to introduce the product and to have some
Right.
mobility and yeah, freedom to experiment, etc.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you decided to do that, then what?
The first thing we did was to figure out how much money we would have to invest, right? So we were checking for our possibilities, how much would a food truck cost. So we decided to build our food truck. We bought a very old Piaggio that was like 700 euros or something like that.
So it's like this motorcycle that have like
It was
uh
just a regular motorcycle. Just it wasn't anything like a food truck.
oh, you just bought the motorcycle.
We just bought a regular, simple, open box motorcycle. Really old, rusty, from the 90s. It was, I think, the motorcycle was from 91 or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we bought the motorcycle. We sent it to a mechanical, and he was able to fix the motorcycle and change the most important parts for new parts.
Mm-hmm.
So we now had this old motorcycle fixed. The final price was, I think, 1,500 euros.
1,500.
Uh,
And are you splitting the costs,
yeah,
or are you like
yeah, I'm splitting the
splitting
cost.
everything 50-50?
Exactly, yeah. So, but now we had a motorcycle, we would have to adapt it for a food truck. So we had to build a box that would have some doors that we could open sideways, just like a regular food truck.
Right.
So we built the box with plywood.
Mm-hmm.
We split the motorcycle in two. The back side was like our small kitchen where we could do the cookie dough and keep a fridge.
Right. So it's like a trailer or something. So it's like a box with wheels that you would attach to the back of the motorcycle.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It was that pretty much. But if you look, the
Okay.
motorcycle, it looked really professional, although it was all
Yeah.
plywood. Um,
I mean, I saw it and it looked amazing, to be honest. I didn't know you built it
yeah,
actually.
it was all plywood, high quality plywood. It was all reinforced. It was well attached to the motorcycle. but it was all homemade. So the motorcycle ended up 8,000 euros, I think, with all the equipment and
Mm-hmm.
everything, basically. Yeah, and we also, of course, made a website and made our social media, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But my question here, sorry to interrupt, is like, how do you manage this? Because for me, 8,000 euros is already a big investment for something that you don't even know if it's going to work.
I mean, it was 8,000 euros, but we split it, and so we ended up
Four
yeah,
thousand, yeah.
we spent 4,000 each. I mean, 4,000, it wasn't much for me for an adventure. I didn't know if the business was going to be successful. And you should remember that I was still working in graphic design.
Right,
I was trying my best to keep up with my clients. At the same time, I was developing Dunny with my
right,
partner. But I didn't felt like 4,000 euros which was much money to start a new adventure, because in all these adventures you end up always learning so much, you are adding so much value to your portfolio.
right,
It's a new experience in your life, it's a new story you are going to tell your grandkids. So I didn't thought 4,000 euros watch a big
right.
investment, all things considered.
And so it's not something that kept you up at night. You didn't even think too much about it.
Not at all. I just thought it was, I was investing, in a sense I was investing in myself.
That's very
That was
interesting.
my that was my hobby, right?
Yeah,
I was having fun doing that. Some people spend a lot more going hunting animals, right? And or I don't know. There are many expensive hobbies.
investing in crypto or investing in stocks, right? And then they just lose the money. It's
Exactly. It
much
was
better to invest in yourself.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm investing in crypto right now, but
Yeah.
but
You need
but
another project
no,
right
but
now.
it's a long term hold, so I'm not day
Right.
trading or anything. So I don't think my risks are very high. But just a side note.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't thought it was I was going to lose much if I would lose those 4,000 euros.
Right. So, and this is only for the truck, right? So, I am not even speaking about the cookie dough. So, you built the truck, you built the
Yeah,
kitchen, you built everything just by yourself, and now,
yeah, me and my partner. Yeah,
yeah, you need a partner, of course. And now, how did you get the product? How did you get the cookie dough?
yeah. The product was also trial and error. It was we went to the internet, we searched for a lot of recipes, we test the recipes. We asked our friends and family what they thought about it. We gave away samples, and then we decided for the best recipe, and we just went for it. And the first thing we did was, at this time we had the recipe, we had the food truck, and then we
Hmm.
decided we would have to test it. So we did an event in Lisbon.
Right.
I don't remember the event, but it was in Elsie's factory.
Hmm.
So we tested it. It was nice. We spent the whole day selling.
Hmm.
It went really well. At the end of the day, when we did the math, it wasn't that profitable because we spent so much money to be in the event, and we were
Right.
selling like €2 products, like each cookie dough, and each cookie was like €2, and each cookie dough was like €3, and we
Hmm.
spent like 300 or 400 euros to be there just for one day.
Right.
And and also you have to subtract the cost of the product itself and etc., and
Yeah, of course.
also the time we spent there the whole day working. So
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it was kind of successful, but if you did the math, it wasn't really that successful.
So not profitable, but you kind of saw that people were interested in the product.
Yeah, people were definitely interested in the product, and our food truck was also very captivating.
Right.
The colors, very colorful, very playful, and I think it caught people's attention. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so at this point, you know that you have a good product, you know you have a good truck. What next?
In that first event, we just figured that doing events was a lot of work because it would require you to go one place to another to drive the motorcycle, and that motorcycle was really the motorcycle of death. Like at any turn we thought we were going to just turn over. It was a really hard motorcycle to drive. It was very old, and so we just thought that maybe doing events every day wasn't for us, so we should just park the food truck in a fixed place.
Right.
And but we did some events after that, just like three or four, but not much. And then
Because I guess sorry to interrupt, but that's the events are the best way to kind of spread the word, isn't them?
yeah, that's why in a way we also, that's why we started with events. We just, it was a way to just meet a lot of people very fast, to spread the word, to see the reactions,
Right.
to test the product. But in the end it was so much work that we made one event and we were exhausted after that. We just thought we would just park the food truck in a fixed place in a nice garden close to schools and things like that, and just test that alternative.
Did you have to pay for that?
Yeah, you can just park your food truck anywhere. You have to ask for permission. You have to have a license. So we asked for a license.
Right.
We paid those 200 euros a month, and yeah, and it was a lot more comfortable than doing events. We didn't have so much people, but we also didn't have so much expenses, right? So it was cheaper to keep the food truck parked in there. And then we just started to
Right.
promote the place in our social media. We run some ads in Zomato, in Facebook,
Hmm.
Instagram, etc., and we started to get some traction.
What worked best? What platforms worked best
Instagram,
for this?
and we also went for a strategy.
Instagram.
We sent the message for almost all influencers in Lisbon. I don't think that any
Okay.
influencer was left out.
So how did you reach out to them? Via Instagram directly or?
Yeah, Instagram. In the beginning we were asking for prices for them to make that promotion, so they would go to our food truck, they would take some photographs, post some stories, and we would pay, I don't know, like 50 euros or something like that.
Okay.
So, and in the beginning we didn't know if our return on investment would be um, appealing,
Right.
but yeah, we tried that in the beginning. And after that, after a few Instagram influencers started to post our food truck, more influencers wanted to go there to take pictures for free, right? They just thought it
Right.
was a nice
Right. Right.
place to
Right.
take pictures. The food truck was so fun, the product was fun, and just they just thought they would go there, take pictures, and so we didn't have to pay anymore for influencers actually. And then we just started to invite them, and we would give their snack for free,
Right.
their cookie dough for free, and they would just take some pictures in return.
Hmm.
So that was, I think that was our main catalyst.
And was could you connect a picture that was shared by the influencer and then new customers? Could you just make this connection?
Yeah, we would always, when we get new clients, we try to remember to ask them where they came from. And there were, of course, we couldn't, it wasn't a scientific inquiry, but we would
Right.
ask our clients where they would come from. But the truth is, that was a really cheap way of advertising, because we were giving cookie dough for free in return for influencers to post for like 5, 10, 20,000 people. So it wasn't really that you were losing money. You didn't have to control that return on investment, because in the end, in the beginning, we were paying these influencers, but in the end, it
True.
was
Yeah.
almost like free
Okay.
advertisement.
So just to make a summary, at this point, there's a food truck, there's a location, there's influencers coming almost for free to basically get a free cookie dough and to share your food truck on social media. So it seems everything is going well. So I guess you guys were making also good money, or
Yeah, we were taking two small salaries for each, but
okay,
we were investing so much money in other types of ads, like in Zomato.
right?
We were investing in our website. We were investing in developing the recipe and new products. We were investing in new equipment. So at that point, the business was very young, right? You still
Right.
needed a lot of things to buy, and
Mm-hmm.
and also licenses. You need to pay just to have music in your food truck. Like there are
Whoa.
and
How did you learn about all of this? Is it
just research,
with
yeah, just research on the
research?
internet and asking also people. We went to Belém and we asked a lot of food trucks there what were
Right.
the regulations and things like that. So we got informed with other food trucks,
Mm-hmm.
and so we got an idea of what we needed, but it was so much work, so much things that we couldn't take a good profit at that time. But we had a lot of attention at the same time. So, and we had a lot of clients in that garden, in our food truck, and we just thought we needed conditions to expand the business. We needed a full size store. We needed a full size kitchen because we also wanted to make like birthday cakes, and we didn't have an oven in our
Right.
food truck.
So if in the beginning you're not sure if people would like this product and if this could actually be a thing and a profitable business, at this point, how sure were you that this was a great business that would thrive?
Yeah, I mean, it was like 50-50. I gotta be honest. It
Okay.
was like 50-50, but we were having fun.
Right.
We weren't losing money. But yeah, we just thought we needed more conditions to work and to expand the business. We needed more space. We needed more equipment. So we just started to look for an actual shop, and we ended up finding one in Prince Real in Lisbon, which had two floors. Had a kitchen, a small kitchen, but it was big enough for our requirements. So yeah, we rented that store. We built the kitchen. We built everything. We designed and built
Right.
everything. So we were able to keep it reasonably
Mm-hmm.
affordable, but still we had to spend more, like 14,000 euros.
Wow. To renovate
Y-
and to
Yeah,
rent and do all of this. And so it's again split it by 50-50.
yeah. In the end, we spent it in the whole business. We spent like 25,000 euros, I think. So
Okay.
each one paid for 12,000, I
Right.
think. But at that time, it was. I mean, I wasn't afraid of losing the money. It was still. I was thinking that it was still, even if the business didn't work out, even if I were to lose twelve thousand
Right.
dollars euros. I mean, it was still a new experience in
Right.
my life. I wasn't going to be poor after that. I
But I guess
wasn't.
for you, you had another income source, right? But
Yeah,
what
and
about your partner?
exactly. She didn't have any other income, but for her it was like her first business, and their parents were also helping out a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but her parents were also entrepreneurs, and they were having fun
Right.
also, I think, investing in her daughter's project and seeing how it went and making part of it.
So now you have a store, and it's like full size kitchen, everything. Were you attracting a lot of customers?
We were attracting a lot of customers. In the beginning it was tough. It took some time for people to know we were there, because when we switched from the food truck to the store, we lost some clients that were already established in the food truck, but we ended up acquiring some more, right?
But why didn't you keep the food truck there? Ah, because you had to hire someone, I guess.
Yeah, because we would have to, then the logistics would be even
Yeah.
higher,
Yeah.
and we at that point we were still two people, and Yeah, and we just kept it for two people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, we were doing everything. We were doing the product, the cookie dough. We were doing the design. We were doing the marketing. We were doing the management. We were doing also the financial, the accountant. It was really exhausting. So we were working like 13 to
Mm-hmm.
14 hours a day without weekends.
Well,
Yeah, it was really really exhausting, and we kept that for like 1 year. And at that point, I
right,
don't think we were enjoying it anymore because um, we weren't able to take enough profits to compensate for all the exhaustion.
right.
And
But were your salaries a bit higher already at this point in the end?
they weren't higher. They were about the same as in the food truck because we had a lot more customers, but
Mm-hmm.
the expenses were so much higher
Yeah, of course.
that it just it was like a zero sum game.
Yeah.
So so yeah, we stayed there for 1 year, and then we decided that we were exhausted. I mean, all the fun we had, we were having no more.
Of course.
We built the brand. Um, I mean, and for me, I was because I always had the most fun in creating the brand and designing the stuff,
Yeah.
and I wasn't having that anymore. I was just managing the business and working my ass off too much
Right.
just to manage regular stuff, to manage the stocks, to make the product. And so at that point we thought that business wasn't for us anymore.
Was it mutual? Was it like both of you decided it?
Yeah, it was it was a very friendly, yeah, it was friendly
Breakup.
to just, yeah, to break up, yeah, exactly. So but that is time we didn't give up on the brand, so we decided to sell the brand, to sell the company.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
because we thought this project was too valuable just to give up on, right? We didn't,
Right.
we were not having fun anymore managing the business. We were just too exhausted, but of course, we knew the brand was still valuable, so we decided
Yeah.
to try to sell it. So we sold it in Imo Virtual. uh,
Okay.
yeah,
Like a website,
yeah,
but a
it is,
website to sell, to
yeah,
rent and sell houses,
yeah,
right?
it is a website to sell real estate, but
Real estate, yeah.
also to sell trespass. I don't know how would you call it in English.
It's kind of a store, right? So
Yeah,
that others could just buy the store
people,
from you
yeah, people would buy the store with everything there's in it,
with
the brand
everything.
and
Yeah.
the equipment and everything, and the stock and whatever.
And you sold it there. Okay.
And yeah, we sold it there. We sold it at the price we invested in. So
So 25K.
25K. We got our return on investment. We
Okay.
made some money along the way. We had a lot of fun. Um, we had a lot of new experience, stories to be
Right.
told. And yeah, and she went to her hometown, back to her family. She was from
Yeah.
Lydia, and she's from Lydia.
Right.
And I stayed in Lisbon, keeping my graphic design freelancing.
Wow, that's such a cool story. And what is up with Donny though now? Is it still there? Is you know about it?
Yeah, Dornido is still yeah, it's still running. It has new owners. I'm not sure how they are selling cookie dough now, what's their
Right.
business plan or what they are doing. I'm not following with close attention, but um, yeah, I think they are selling birthday cakes. They are
Right.
selling pretty much what we were selling, but I'm not really into it. I'm
So
looking
what
into
would you
it.
do differently now if you were starting Donny though again?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we would invest more in the food truck first.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we would try maybe some new locations and do a few more events before moving to a shop, because the jump
Right.
in complexity in the logistics is so high,
Right.
um, that
Do you think that was a bad decision?
I mean I don't know if it was a bad decision because
Business wise, maybe not for like personal reasons, but like business wise, do you think it?
I mean,
Was a bad decision?
I can't answer that because it was like 50-50, right? We had to try it out.
Right.
Maybe it was, maybe we could invest a little more in the food truck. I'm thinking that we could just try new locations and just to be more sure that the business would pay out. But I don't know. Back then it was 50-50, and we had to work with what we had, and
Right.
we we just tried to try that
I
solution.
mean, in the end, maybe it wasn't a huge success, but it was a success, right? So you were able to build a brand that it still exists,
Yeah,
and you got your money back plus some extra profit.
yeah. I didn't
You got a lot of learnings, a lot of
exactly.
experiences,
I didn't lose anything if I look back.
right?
I kept my initial investment. I took some profits along the way. I kept my work in graphic design freelancing.
Right.
Um, of course, I worked my ass off during that year,
But
but I mean,
you learned a lot
yeah,
as well.
yeah, sure.
Cool, John. This is was an amazing conversation. It's already a bit long, but I think it's totally worth it, and I think everyone will love to hear this
Yeah.
story. I think that we will also in the future still speak about your graphic
Mm-hmm.
designing company. I think that's also probably very interesting.
Yeah.
In the end, what I realized that you are a true entrepreneur, and yeah, you're yeah, that's it basically. You're a true entrepreneur and have a true entrepreneur spirit, and it's really great to hear your
Yeah.
stories.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, man.
That was another episode of Wannabe Entrepreneur. See you tomorrow.